It's Nolan.
Hey, we ain't got a lot of time left. If the rap game fall, bet I did this shit to death. No motivation to stretch it. Focused on ethics, try to survive in my section. Shit is depressing. Used to care about niggas. Now I give a fuck about your whereabouts. Publishing, I'm clearing house, nigga. Music on shows, I'm on Paramount, nigga. Killing a rapper, breathing, and I'm bailing out quicker, single-handed. Never panic, I get disbanded, reprimanded, ass-handed, then they vanish. Hip-hop, nigga, I perfected every element with 4-finger rings on. Call me Captain Planet. Street shit done. These niggas scum, I don't appreciate none. Nigga thinking nigga stunt. Came from a village, bumping dealer in the slum, moving on another pillar. I'm the realest that they come. I don't need no squad. My rap clean like Pino on the beats like Ringo Starr. Blast on niggas like Beano bars, doing numbers in the bank like bingo cards. My respect level lower, next level flow us in the text. Bitch, your ex come and blow us. Old school niggas still dressed in below us in the jet, watching Plex while I flex on them niggas that's below us.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Happy New Year's Eve, you know what I'm saying? Before we get, this is the last day of the year, the final. I wasn't really gonna do shit, but I said, you know what? I might as well leave people on a good note, on a high note. Let me get a little something out there, man. So, happy New Year's Eve to all of y'all. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about Mr. Joe Budden, right? For the past few days, it's been a conversation on Twitter and other social media about what's going on with the Joe Budden podcast. For the clips that have been going viral and stuff that's been getting released out there, people have noticed that Joe is not recording in the studio that they've been in for about a year and some change, right? The big studio with the high-rise view, the big white comfy couches and stuff like that. People have noticed that they've gone back to their original location, which I believe is Park's basement, with the Basquiat paintings and all of that stuff down there. So they're back to the OG, not the OG of the OG, but I think this was like the second iteration of the podcast, because at first it was in like a little studio. Then they did the basement thing, and they did that for many years with Roy and Maul. That's the iconic look that they had. And they're back to the basics. So people were first trying to understand what that was about, as to, you know, whether they were just doing side content there, if maybe there was some renovations going on or what. Then Joe Budden came out and addressed it and said that, you know, they're not going to be filming in that location anymore due to a couple of different reasons, right? So one thing that he did come out and say was that he was sleepwalking, and he said that he sleeps in the nude, right? And I guess he found himself out walking nude in the apartment complex, because I believe there's an apartment with the studio that they were recording in, and then there's another apartment in that same building where I guess he lives, or maybe one of his properties, I don't know. So there's that. So he did kind of let people know about this before, but it kind of only was circulating in communities that keep up with Joe. Then there was another clip that was circulating about how they were having issues with the building anyway, because they, I guess, were not supposed to be doing the podcast and filming in the apartment. I guess there was something in the bylaws of the apartment complex to where you're not supposed to be shooting content or doing anything of the like in those properties. So there's also that. And he said that him and his cast members were having a little bit of issues. It seems that somebody may have complained, may have had noise ordinance complaints and stuff like that. I do believe some of the people that are really like dedicated to watching the Joe Budden podcast on a consistent basis, they talked about how Flip was doing improper improv, which was a thing, and that he kind of broke some rules, and it kind of made things hot for them in the first place, which is why the radar was already up. So they've been having some complications with the building. I think they were having security issues, people kind of, you know, keeping tabs on where they are, who's coming. I believe there was some issues with them bringing different guests up and stuff like that. So this information isn't necessarily, as it's circulating today, it's news, but it's not as new as people might think it is. It's just now coming to the surface because TMZ is reporting on it. The police have issued an official statement His mugshot is circulating around on social media, and we're going to cover all of those things. We're actually going to play the clips of Joe giving his explanation as to what's going on with him, and pretty much go from there. Now, as far as people that really followed the pod, they had noticed that Joe wasn't there for, I would say, a decent amount of episodes for about 2 weeks or so. Some folks thought he was on vacation. Others thought that he was just testing out the castmates and seeing how strong they could be without him. Of course, the podcast is his namesake, the Joe Budden Podcast. So when he doesn't show up, it definitely causes a stir within that whole JBP community of people that go there for Joe and his entertainment. Because even though he's trying to set others up to step up into his place, because he's always said that his one of his main objectives is a Joe-less pod, to where he sets it up and he runs it, but doesn't have to be on mic talent. I don't think he has any co-hosts that can really step up and fill his shoes. Once he leaves, it's going to go downhill. But some people felt like maybe he was testing them out to see if they could really hold down the fort without his presence. But now we're finding out that there's a little bit of legal activity going on as to why Joe wasn't present, but the show was still continuing to go while he get everything figured out. All right, so what we have here is Edgewater Police Department with their press release statement that was released yesterday. And of course, Edgewater, that's New Jersey. Joe is, of course, from Jersey by way of Queens, if I'm not mistaken. So here is the statement from Donald A. Martin, Chief of Police. They state on December 4th, 2024, at approximately 7:21 a.m., the Edgewater police were dispatched to an apartment complex for the report from a resident that a man was standing outside of their apartment door completely naked. The caller recognized the man as a neighbor, Joseph Budden Jr., a 44-year-old male. The caller was alerted to Budden by their doorbell code by their doorbell camera. The video depicted Budden attempting to enter a code into the door keypad several times before re-entering his own residence across the hall. As a result of a police investigation, Budden was charged with lewdness 2C 14-4A disorderly persons offense on a complaint summons. Chief Martin states that these charges are merely accusations and that the defendant is presumed innocent until and unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So this is the statement coming from the Chief of Police in Edgewater, New Jersey. Okay? Which I think is unfortunate, because I don't think they wanted people to really know where this building was or where they were shooting at or what part of Jersey they were shooting at more specifically. So now we know they're in Edgewater. Now, again, Joe already addressed him being naked. It was already put out on the podcast, but now a lot of people that maybe didn't see the clip, people that don't follow the podcast are now becoming aware of this. So now they're making narratives up. They're saying that Joe was putting his DI on people's doorbells, and I even saw someone saying they want the damn footage to be released. Why TMZ don't got that? I'm like, gee damn, boy. So now I'm gonna read y'all what is being said on TMZ, because they've actually spoken to Joe's lawyer and gotten a response from his team. Okay. So they say Joe Budden was charged earlier this month after authorities claimed his neighbors saw him outside their apartment on ring cam footage, completely naked as addressed before. According to court documents, Budden was charged on December 4th for lewdness. Officers were called to an apartment complex in the area at approximately 7:21 a.m. Okay. Now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. When I first heard of him walking around naked, he said he was sleepwalking. I didn't know Joe was a sleepwalker. I thought he was back on that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. First thought, even when I seen him talk about it, he was like, yeah, I was walking around naked in the wrong place. I know how I sleep. I was sleepwalking. I said, man, that nigga back on that shit. Now, I don't know that to be true. And to be honest, I would hope that it's not, especially as he is a father of, I believe, 2 children. But don't quote me. But I know he has a younger child. And of course, we know he has an older son as well. So hopefully he's not on that, because we know the most tumultuous version of Joe was the Joe on that shit on the mollies. Right? EPD says the caller was alerted by Ring camera footage, blah, blah, blah. We just went out there and talked about that. The caller claims video shows Budden attempting to enter a code into their door several times. And they say that the resident has 2 juvenile daughters who observed this offense live on their phone. So that I think that's why the police were ultimately called. Number one, because he was trying to enter a keypad code into somebody's house. So they probably were afraid that he was trying to break in. And their 2 young daughters actually had to see this man on camera in his nakedness, in his birthday suit, even though it's not his birthday, right? So they called the folks and said, hey, I do recognize him. He's one of my neighbors. I don't know what the fuck going on with him, but he walking around this bitch naked trying to get up in my crib. Okay? TMZ states, by the way, Budden recently talked publicly about strife with his neighbors, claiming he was kicked out of his apartment for continuing to record episodes of his podcast there. He's also said on previously on his podcast that he's a sleepwalker, which I did not know. But apparently in other instances, he's climbed in a bed with other castmates when they've gone out and, you know, been in other places. I think, matter of fact, not castmates, but his business partner, Ian, which I didn't know about, but it's been circulating for people that follow him closer. Joe's attorney, Nima Amiri, fired back at the Edgewater Police Department, telling TMZ, Mr. Budden is saddened by Police Chief Martin's press release. Mr. Budden has been waiting for weeks for his cross complaints to be processed, which include substantially more serious charges, including possible felony charges against the persons behind these charges against him. What? They said the chief has, in our opinion, sat on those, but instead used his time to gain some free publicity for himself. Chief Martin should seek publicity by doing notable policing, not inflaming disorderly person allegations. Interesting. So they're saying that Joe has issues of his own against the woman that called the police on him. So they I don't know about that sleepwalking shit, Joe. Hey, why was you trying to get in this lady apartment at 7:21 in the morning? Because now that it's been stated that y'all have had issues with this woman, that don't sound right to me. I was down with the sleepwalking story. But now, if knowing that y'all have cross complaints about other issues surrounding this same person, what the fuck? And then you just casually walk back into your shit. Amiri added, the allegations against Mr. Budden are a minor charge, not even resulting in an arrest. A charge Mr. Budden is looking forward to beating in court on the merits, not in the press. The chief's comments are reckless and, in our opinion, racially motivated. Our research has not shown a single press release on a disorderly person charge on the police website this year. His choice to single out Mr. Budden, in our opinion, is self-motivated and based off of Mr. Budden's race and celebrity status. Hey, I don't know who else lives out in Edgewater. Maybe they wanted to get a little bit of press. I don't know. But nonetheless, that's what we have out there. Okay? Now, here is Joe Budden preemptively telling the fans about this to get ahead of the story so that they, I guess, wouldn't be shocked and appalled whenever it came across their desk like the rest of the world is today.
I just sleptwalked somewhere that I shouldn't have sleptwalked.
What? That's what happened.
For real?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know how I sleep.
Yeah. Oh
Butt-ass.
my
I slept.
God.
Oh,
Slept
shit.
butt ass. Nice naked ass. Good naked sleepwalking. I just did it again.
Oh, shit.
I did it again.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
I did it again.
Shit was swinging, right?
Nah.
shit. Yo, you on that?
Holy shit, nobody can go through this stuff but me. It's only me. It's only me. So you got to deal with
That
you
puts
gotta,
everything.
you got to deal with what comes with that. And what I'm going through personally is totally separate from why we not over there. The long and short of that is the bylaws of the town, because now the town is involved, says that you cannot film anything in any of those buildings.
Oh.
That's the long and short of it. Now, you could choose to fight that and go to court and spend the money, but somebody over there got the town involved, and that's what it is. For me, I didn't want none of my people to continue to be surveilled and scrutinized and treated
That was
a certain way.
yeah.
I never want that.
So that's Joe also offering an explanation as to why they're no longer filming in that building, right? He's claiming that they were being surveilled, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's true, especially coming from that same person that he may have had some sort of verbal altercation with, some sort of issues, disagreements. Maybe she's somebody who's complained to ownership or complained to, you know what I mean? 'Cause she might be an owner in the building opposed to him renting, right? Which could also be a problem. Like, hey, I own this fucking apartment or this condo in here. Y'all got people coming in and out this motherfucker. Y'all joking, y'all laughing, y'all having a good ass time. Y'all disturbing the peace at all types of hours, even in early hours, because I believe that they film the show in the early times in the morning, 6 a.m., 5 a.m. type shit. So bringing guests, rappers, entrepreneurs, entertainers, they come with their limited entourage, or we've seen people go up to the Joe Budden show and they have like label reps with them. So it's different personalities that are coming in and out this building. It's also a urban podcast, so these are of course what somebody might say strange black people coming in here. So I'm sure that this person's radar was already on Joe. I wouldn't be surprised if the issues that they were already having was about that. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of issue where Joe said, you know what? I'm going to see if I could get up in this motherfucker house. He probably tried to knock at the door nicely. I won't say nicely because he probably had ill intent. Or he just was like, let me see if I could get up in this bitch and cuss this motherfucker out, which I can't co-sign. I don't think that's cool. So it's a lot of different scenarios in which this could really be. I can't tell y'all exactly what happened because there's no footage, at least not as of yet. Not that I would want to see it. Nigga butt ass dookie naked. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind some sort of proof coming out to show like how excessive this was. Not that I want to see it, but it could possibly help him, because there's a lot of people out there that already think he's crazy, batshit crazy, that don't trust him, that don't like his history as it pertains to women. So when something like this comes along, and it is a woman with children, they may assume the worst, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see how things go from here. Again, Joe has addressed it on his pod already, but now that it's TMZ involved, now that it's going super viral, everybody's talking about it. There's a lot of people speaking on it. The mugshot is floating around online. The statement from the police station is floating around online. And of course, a lot of folks wait for the worst of Joe Budden to discredit him and throw him under the bus. And he's a very polarizing figure, so that's what comes with the territory. But I guess we'll see how he addresses this further, because I'm sure it's going to come back up on the podcast. He's going to respond to the way people are speaking on his name. And I think he should be, at least at the very minimum, afforded the opportunity to give further context if he so chooses. All right. But yeah, so that's what it seems is on the table for Joe. They're no longer in that location. They're back at Park's crib. back to the OG style. Maybe they're gonna look for another location. Maybe they just keep it at Park's crib. We shall see what the 2025 JBP has in store. I know they're going through contract renegotiations for some of their cast members as well. So we'll see who ends up making it to the final cut going into next year. And I'm sure he's going to have plenty of viral moments on the pod, as he does every year, because he's just that polarizing of a figure where his opinion gets out there. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be good out there. Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some battery. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.